Great.
And to break a habit of a lifetime, we're going to begin in supported butterfly.
Oh, you are.
Well, it's the last Sunday session online, so why change?
I know, right? Cool. Yeah, using whatever you want to support you underneath, but just making sure that the bottom of the support goes between the upper part of the shoulder blades so that the lower back doesn't arch. And then support your head position feet as close or as far away as you wish. And then taking the arms out into a position where you feel the opening through the front of the chest and the shoulder. And then focus on breathing into the diaphragm, where that sits just below the rib cage and above the hips. Try and follow every breath. Focus on allowing your body to relax as you breathe out. Allowing the muscles of the back of the body to melt over the support beneath it. Hopefully you've noticed your exhalation naturally lengthen already. But follow every exhalation and observe how it affects your body. Take a deep breath in, counting to 3. Hold your breath for a count of 2. Breathe out for a count of 6. Breathe in for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 2, 1. Breathe out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue breathing in for 3. Holding your breath for 2. Breathing out for 6. Harnessing a sense of tranquility. Just 3 more times. At the end of those 3 controlled breaths, bring your elbows back into your sides. Gently lift your head off the support. Sit yourself up. If your body needs anything instinctively, maybe a few little twists or just a gentle lean forwards to round the back. Then just listen to what it needs. From here, take your legs out wide. So this is the more advanced version of it. If you want it slightly more gentle, or if the hips are feeling particularly tight, tuck one side in, and then we're going to alternate in to the other side in a second anyway. But we're going to begin with a side bend over towards your left leg. So right arm over the top. So here again, you can support yourself in any which way that you would normally do in yin. So you can use a block to rest your elbow on and support your head. Arm can relax on top of the head for support as well. Just make sure the right side, your butt cheek's not lifting off the floor. Pull it back and down so it stays anchored. If you get the feeling that you're trying to reach out into the soles of your feet, and then relax the muscles in the back of your legs and the right side of your torso. This can be a challenging pose to hold. Find your edge within it. Find the challenge. Breathe widthways, so wide into the rib cage. Imagine that the arms are spreading apart. as you breathe out. Try and rotate your torso, aiming your shoulders to face, or your chest to face the ceiling. We're going to take 10 more breaths here. Imagine the length all the way from your right elbow tip, travelling down the back of your right arm, from the armpit down the side of the torso, all the way to the hip. And then across the top and the bottom of your leg, all the way to your foot. At the end of those 10 breaths, we're going to take a fold. We can get out of it. Searching for the hamstring stretch on your left leg. So the fold. You may find this challenging with the right leg out to the side. So if you want to, you can bend the knee a little and just focus on the left hamstring. However, an alternative option is to aim the torso direction just on the inside of the left leg, because that way it takes some of the pressure and stress out of the lower back on the right side, even though it still gives it nice length. But also it helps you to target the inner part of the hamstring on the left leg. So we've got adductor and inner I can't say it, hamstring, rather opposed to just like the middle of the hamstring when you're more square over the leg. You know, any support that you normally like to use, you're welcome to use. So you can place blocks under the knees if you wish, to help keep them soft or help find a little bit more relaxation. Any pose that makes you squirm a little is a bit of a challenge, isn't it?
Swimming all right.
Yeah, good. So focus on breathing into the diaphragm, or aiming the inhalation to like your pelvic bowl. So if you imagine that your pelvis is like bowl shaped and it's just so it's unable to collect energy inside it. You breathe into the bowl. Essentially, that's your pelvic floor. Breathing out, allowing the waist to draw in, but also finding ease through any muscles that are feeling the struggle. take 5 more long breaths. At the end of those breaths, gently lift your torso away from the floor. Before we move into the other side, we're going to find swan with the right leg in front, left leg behind. And just ensuring that the right knee is turning outwards from the hip. Breathing into your pose. Allowing the hips to feel an element of comfort here. Because without that comfort, it's harder to let go. So tune into the feeling of the right side of your hip feeling wide. So where your butt cheek stretches, you almost want to shift a little bit over into the outside of that hip. The front of the left thigh then rolls in a little bit, and that helps to stabilize the body. So if you visualize the direction of your inhale now going into your pelvic bowl, and then wide around your right butt cheek towards your knee, and down the inside of the front of your left thigh down to the big toe. You're welcome to stay exactly where you are, or bend the left knee, find the foot for the quad stretch. Alternatively, using belt or strap to hook around the foot. I find it helps me to balance when I've got my foot with the opposite hand, so the right hand to left foot, and create a little pillow with the left forearm, or use a block underneath the forehead to help stabilise and support the upper body. If your quad's feeling particularly tight, start from slightly outside the intensity. And then as you breathe out, draw the leg in a little bit closer so you can ensure that the other muscles in your body stay relaxed. The minute you start to fight it, the minute it stops having such amazing effects on your body. Everything feels more comfortable, more relaxed, more calm. If the muscles stay soft. We stay in the parasympathetic nervous system. Take 5 more deep breaths. At the end of those 5 breaths, if you're holding the foot, let it go. Gently climb up onto the hands. Sit down onto the right butt cheek. Oh.
As long as we've ever been in Swan.
How does that feel?
Painful.
If your body needs anything, instinctively give it to it. And then set yourself up into wide leg stick pose. Adding in the side bends over towards the right side this time. So I'm just going to place my block on the outside of the leg to rest the elbow in and support the head. Left arm reaches over the top and then set it into a position of comfort. If your butt cheeks lifted off, come a little bit higher up from the side bend, and then as you relax, lower the support down a little bit. Again, you're welcome to tuck the left foot into the inner thigh. As you breathe in, imagine that your body is smiling.
Oh, that's a bit of
Oh, say that again.
that's a bit of a stretch, getting it to smile. Oh,
It's in a happy face position, you see, this pose.
It looks more like a grimace.
A grimace. Oh, so you see the challenge. You feel the challenge. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here. Trying to open and lift the chest to the ceiling. Oh, it's just so delicious, isn't it? I love it. From here, we're going to take the fold either directly over the right leg, getting that feeling that you're pulling the leg into the back of the hip. You can adjust your left leg into a position to help your lower back find ease, or bring the direction of your torso slightly on the inside of the leg. Make yourself as comfortable as you can with any support that you have. Still breathing space and width into the front of the hips. So every breath in, you can imagine that your legs are trying to reach out wider and wider, further and further apart. Giving that feeling that the front of the hips is widening, the back of the hips is narrowing. Then try and find a longer exhalation than inhalation. So it enables your body to relax. When the body relaxes, you can often go a little bit deeper. Often that happens without even realizing it. Take 5 more deep breaths. At the end of those 5 breaths, gently climb up. Moving into swan with the left shin in the front, right leg lengthened behind, squaring hips to ground. And then folding. Taking the time to settle into the position because you want to make sure that your position feels right. So you've got both sides of the hips doing slightly different actions. So the left side of the hip is in external rotation of the thigh bone from the hip, whereas the other leg, the right leg, the one that's behind you, is slightly internally rotated at the front. So a gentle shift into the left side of the hip. And then the feeling that the left knee is trying to push forwards as the right leg is trying to slide backwards on the inhalation. The exhalation, allow everything to soften back into the center point of your body. if you want to add in the quad stretch, bend the back knee. Find the foot with the opposite hand, unless that makes you twist your body out of position. Because then it makes it easier to balance it as you stay in the fold. Focus on the position of the front of the thigh as you grab your foot. So you're going to make sure that the thigh doesn't roll open. So if you drop your foot more on the inside, you might see that my hip starts to open out on the right leg to like away from the centre line of the body. So ideally finding that position where you can keep your thigh square to the floor with a tiny bit of internal rotation at the front. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then at the end of those 3 breaths, make your way out. But straight into dragon.
Straight
You wanna
into-
punish us for that one, don't you?
Hang on, 2 of you spoke at the same time then. What
Go
was
on,
that?
You said you wanna punish us.
Oh, I said straight into might be a bit of a push.
Yeah, in your own time. In your own time.
Wednesday.
Just
So
left leg forward or the,
we're going right leg forwards. And then dragon is with the quad stretch.
What's it without?
It's a lizard. So you can be a lizard without it if you like.
Whoa, lizard or a dragon? Choices.
Or you can even be a gecko if you drop down onto your forearm. So you can be any reptile of your choice. But don't worry, we're not going to be in this one for that long. Make sure hips are square to the short edge of your mat, and it's just the shoulders that turn to create the twist. And then the shoulder, so the right shoulder then squeezes in towards the middle of the back, and you gently press the left side of your chest forwards to the inner thigh of the right leg. We also want to make sure that we're not pressing onto the top of the kneecap by dragging the hips forwards and down. But you're always welcome to pad something soft underneath the left knee if you so wish. So get that feeling that both of your legs are trying to stretch in opposite directions. Hopefully this one does feel like a challenge.
and like all the other ones we did that.
This one more of a challenge. We want to like tap into that like almost suffering feeling. And then breathe through it. Like you can take on the world, you can take on anything. 8 more breaths. Allowing the hips to sink as the right knee edges forwards of the foot.
Hope you're counting.
I am. I don't know
That's
whether
all
mine are as long as yours though.
Shh,
right.
don't interrupt the count.
Yeah, I'll have to start otherwise. All right, release.
Mm.
Oh,
That sounded like a good sound. Other leg. So left leg forwards outside of the hand and shoulder. Settle into the hips first of all, where you're getting that feeling that you're dragging yourself forwards. If the floor feels too far away, you can always place the supporting hand, the right hand on the block as well. It's always another option. Twist your torso into the inner thigh and then bend the back knee, find the foot. This is where you might want to use a strap if it's hard to hold. Or yeah, or coming up a little bit higher into the torso makes it that little easier. Take your time to find your comfort. Not the easiest of poses to stay in for a long period of time because we need to support ourselves with the upper body, but also the possible sheer intensity of the stretches at hand. So focus on that longer exhalation, because the longer exhalation calms your mind, calms your body. And the more and more you exhale, the more you try and imagine that the left knee is coming forwards and the hips are sinking down. If you find you want to drop down onto the forearm, you can. Eight more breaths. So knowing that you've got a short amount of time left, trying to use those 8 breaths to test your edge, test where you can go, what you can feel, how far you can take it whilst you're still calm. At the end of those 8 breaths, oh, let go of the foot. push yourself out of it gently. In fact, take a step forwards into forward fold. Bending the knees as much as your body needs to enable the chest and thighs to make contact, and then tip the weight into the front of the foot more. Lifting the back of the legs. Tuck one leg underneath the other to sit down. Lengthen your legs out. Oh. And roll down onto your back. Take the right knee into the chest and then roll it over towards the right side. Twist. Targeting the outside of the hip, the spine.
Left, the right side.
Left leg, right side. You're welcome to adjust your twist in any which way you want. If you'd rather have both legs bent and wrapped into eagle legs, then you can do that option. Or if you've got the space to stretch your leg out into a hamstring stretch, then you're welcome to do that too. As you breathe into your diaphragm here, imagine your left arm and your left knee are moving away from one another. On the exhale, let them melt back into the middle. So one more deep breath in and slow breath out. And then return back into the middle of the mat. Uncross the leg, adjust yourself to the other side. So either taking the right knee to the chest first, rolling over, bringing the knee down to the ground, or wrapping the legs round into eagle. Take 3 more deep breaths here. And then gently unraveling. Settle your body into a position then of complete comfort. Maybe supporting underneath the knees with cushions or even underneath the head. Then scan your body from head to toe, just checking in, letting go of any places where you're holding tension. So start with your forehead, allow it to widen. Lose tension through your jaw from parting the teeth. Allow the shoulders to drop, the chest to widen. Arms to roll out from your shoulders. Legs to roll out from the hips. Unless, of course, your knees are bending and feet on the floor, and then allow the knees to roll together instead. Soften all the way down the length of your spine. Let go of any tension in the muscles that are attached to it, or run either side of it. And then in turn, feel your upper back muscles spread into the ground. Breathe deeply down into the belly. Breathe out from the belly, feeling every edge of your waist draw in. Your aim here is to stay present, to keep your attention in your breathing, in your body in this moment. It's inevitable that thoughts will come into your mind every now and again. You're only human after all. And we live in a very distracting world. So when these distractions come in, alert yourself of their presence. And then move them to a different section of your brain or of the room if you're imagining the distraction is coming into your space. And then bring your attention back into your breathing. And although the distraction may never leave, you have the skill to redirect your attention. You have the skill to divert your thoughts or your main thoughts away from it. Take a deep breath in and just feel how your body responds. Feel the energy that you draw in. And the relief when you let go. Take a deep breath in, and as you do, bring a smile to your face. And then allow the physiological effects that the smile brings to travel into your body. So the more you smile, the more you can feel. Take a deep and energizing breath in this time. And then as you let it go, bring your attention back into your body, making some gentle movements. Starting with the feet and the hands. Be stretching the arms and the legs out. Oh, hug your knees into the chest. Or even having a little roller side to side. And then in your own time, in your own way, sit yourself back up.